Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy to see these beautiful faces today. I'm going to presence myself in my water basin and ask you all to do the same. After I sing us into a sacred container, Galigia Koskwe, Dancing Heron, Dances with Death, Call Me Gale, on our sacred mountain, Adagu, which means helping many people. In my Salagi homeland, in the water basin of Wayumi Ganaita, the long man whose head is in the mountain and his feet are in the sea. We are the people who resisted both the removal on the Trail of Tears and the reservation called Cherokee by hiding in these mountains. And today I'm going to also call in two power animals who've helped me with this composition, and with all that we've done all along, they've been so helpful. And I'm going to tell you a story of my personal experience with power animals and invite you, when you present yourself with your name and your water basin, to include your power animal if you want to. So the power animals I'm inviting today are the mountain lioness and the bear. And I'm going to sing us into sacred container, and then I'm going to ask Molly and Pamela to begin an example presencing themselves with their water basin and power animals if they choose to. So this is a song that calls in our ancestors, and I want to remind you that the rocks, the rivers, the trees, actually the stones are our eldest ancestors because they've been here from the beginning. And also the spirits of the people that are our ancestors who've done their work. Sometimes we know them, sometimes we don't, but they know us. So sing with me if you want to. I don't care about that delay that Zoom brings up. Just hum, vibrate, drum, rattle, whatever you want to do. Just join this frequency of inviting the ancestors to be with us today. Parasamane, parasamane, parasamane o, parasamane o, paramamane, paramamane, paramamane o, paramamane o, parasamane, parasamane, parasamane o, parasamane o, paramamane, paramamane, paramamane o, paramamane o. Thank you all so much. I see the rattle, I see the sway, I see the energy moving with that song. And I want to share an experience that's related to our topic of balancing power. You feel the power of that song? It's a strong, beautiful, traditional song from Dagaroo. And I want you to notice the power that it holds. And you see me singing it, and you see me sitting here with your senses. But I want you to watch for this energy shift as I bring in humility by giving credit to the teacher who passed this song to me in a seminar, in a workshop that I did with him. And he has recently crossed over to the spirit world, and traditionally in Salagiwes, we wouldn't say his name, but I'm going to ask for an exception here as we give credit and watch the transformation of the energy to love, from power of the song to love, as I give gratitude and love to Maladom Some for sharing that song with me in the teaching that he shared with me in the workshop that he shared with me and taught me so very much about coming into community. Just what we're doing today. We're coming into community to work these transformation dances so that the whole collective unconscious, the whole world, can join us in our efforts to balance power. And so you feel that shift to the power of love. That's what we're doing today. And it's done through humility. Those of you who've listened to the song and practiced know that we talk about humility coming in from the water, from the black race in the directions of the west, where we cross over, where our ancestors come and go. We bring all that in with us and ask them to join us in making this a sacred container. And we want to see and meet all of you. So please present yourself. Just unmute quick as you can. Say your name, your water basin, and if you want to call in power animals, you can do that too. And Pamela and Molly will start up. So let's be quick and just keep going. It's okay if we bump into each other. Keep the energy flowing.
I'm Pamela Schreiner, and the water near me is the Ottawa River, and my power animal is the spider.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. The watershed I'm near, I think, is Catawba, and in Asheville, Fairview area. And I'm calling in the fox.
Yes, yes.
Hey, it's Martin. Kaw River Watershed, Kansas City, Kansas. I'm calling in the hummingbird.
Imani, and the water that is on this mountain runs down into the Swananoa River. And I too am resonating with the hummingbird.
I'm Mike Merritt, and my water basin is the Pigeon River here near Asheville, closer to Waynesville. And my power animal is the bird.
Clover Kate will say greetings. I'm here in western South Dakota. I have the Belfouche River that runs into the Missouri River, and I'd like to ask Otter to join us.
Hello, folks. With Gail's permission, she has invited me to listen in today. I'm here on the shore of Lake Champlain at the ferry docks for the Lake Champlain Company. And we've just gone to 2 boats. So I'm going to be holding you in my heart and in my prayers. And Gail has given me permission to listen. I hope that's okay with everybody. And that's the way I'm going to bring the intention to this group tonight, because otherwise I'll get interrupted by customers. So thank you for letting me join you from this beautiful, powerful, healing lake. Oh, and I'm calling in my power animal, Otter.
Hi, I'm Sharon Friedman from North Grovendale, Connecticut. The French River watershed is my watershed, and I'm calling in the power animal of bear and rabbit, and I'm also calling in the energy of the violet flame.
Stephanie here on the southwest corner of Great Lake, Michigan, on a tributary of the Chicago River, and I am calling in the spirit of bear. Thank you.
Susan here from Switzerland. My water basin is Reuss from the middle of the Swiss Alps, from a Toma Lake, which 3 rivers origin. One goes north, one goes east, one goes south. The one who goes north is Reuss. And I call in the power animals elk, bear, eagle, and thunder beings.
Good evening, everyone. This is Claudia Valdez Vega coming to you from the land of Paute, Ecuador. And I've got a wonderful river here, Rio Cutilcay, and it flows into many other rivers, and it goes down into the Pacific Ocean. But fairly new visiting here, so I'm not exactly sure what all those other rivers are, but there's a lot of water here. And the power animals I've been working with that I'd love to call in is the jaguar and the colibri. There are so many hummingbirds here, so I'd love to call in the hummingbird as well. Thank you.
Eileen Smoke in the Skagit River watershed, where it flows into the Salish Sea and then out to the Pacific Ocean. I'm calling in orca and eagle today.
Okay, I'm Mali, joining from London, UK. The nearest body of water is River Thames, although it might be some more underground rivers, I'm finding out. And the power animals I would like to call in today, I'm calling my ladybugs, and I would like to also call some wolves to come and support us today. Thank you.
Thank you all. I think that's everybody but Shalania. Have you presented yourself? And Tessa
Yes,
just
thank
arrived.
you. Thank you, Shalania here in Northern California, and the water that I work with is the Kumsaya River in Nisenan Territory, and it runs into the Sacramento River watershed down coming from Mount Shasta. And I call in my Chalgi and my Onondaga ancestors, and I call in Grandmother Medicine Bear and Deer's Eagle.
Welcome, Tessa. We're just now presencing ourselves and calling in a power animal with our water. You're just in time to do that.
Nisayandra Vinaka, everyone. This is Lisa. Earth Heart returning. On the shores of Kambata, on the Coral Coast. I call in the rock people, the foundation of this land. I call in the magma and the crystalline energy. And I call in the Dandakalavi, the sea snake, which creates a lot of fear in people, but it's so essential for the regeneration of our reef. I call them and I welcome them in without any fear to stop. And lovely to be here among you. Naka.
Thank you, Tessa. Welcome, Mila and Isla. You got here just in time to present yourself in your watershed and call in a power animal if you want to.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
Minha avó, Carolina Romero PT, minha avó, ela vai comer em Romero PT. Utate, Aglané. Quero chamar os nossos protetores da floresta, a nossa onça sagrada, os nossos pássaros sagrados, que sempre estão junto com a gente quando a gente dança. I would like to call in our sacred animals, especially our sacred, I guess, I don't know the translation. I guess it would be like similar to a dog. It's one of our sacred animals and one of our sacred birds. And I will sing. Bird can hear us. Another. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's beautiful, Mila. Thank you. Thank you all for so much richness that we're bringing in to join us today. Let's take a deep breath and get ready to move into sacred space. When Gabri, our magical musician, asked for this particular transformation dance, I was a little scared. I was a little shaken. He sent me a speech by John Trudell, and it was a very stirring speech about the power imbalance that our world was facing and how we needed to take action. And my first thought was, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can stand up to this one. I don't know if I'm courageous enough. You know, the first thing that hit me was the humility to take on such a topic. And then the next thing that came to me, fortunately, was a quote by Jimi Hendrix that you've probably heard. It's when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. And when that quote rang in my ears and stirred up my heart, I knew this was something we had to do. So here we are, doing it together, and that makes it good too. And Pamela's going to play a video of Gabri telling us about his inspiration for this dance and the way the music composition came to him. He's unable to be here today because fortunately he's playing his music live in a wonderful festival in such a remote area near Wales that he doesn't have signal. So he sent us this great video that Pamela's going to play for us so that we can see Gabri telling us about this inspiration that he felt.
My name is Gabri. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Male. This message is pre-recorded. I can't be there physically because I'm in a remote area, so there is no connection, which in some ways good, but unfortunately I can't participate with you. So I hope it goes well. This transformation dance, how I been co-creating with Gail with the music. This is power song. Power. I was inspired pretty much by the speech of John Trudell, "We Are Power," and which I recommend to everybody to take their time. Take your time to have a listen. It's on YouTube, various other platforms, and yeah, we are power, and how much this is related now to this time right now, right here. How much we should really take our time and to feel to how much we can be. We to realize where is the source of power really, what we are doing to our planet, and how much we should be more in balance with our planet, or our mother, and to feel that energy. I was also inspired by my spirit, one of lovely spirits animal that I particularly love. There's the wolf. So that is really much like how much that we can work together as one, how much we can sort of help one another as well, and to find the balance and the power. And I wish you have a fantastic transformation dance. Sending love to all of you, peace, love, and gratitude. Thank you, Gail, and thank you, Mali, and everybody there. Peace.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. We're grateful to Gabri and Mali for this dance, for standing by these transformation dances, and for all their help and amazing creativity. And I've asked Mike Merritt to presence the masculine for us today. This is what happens when you come into community. Mike's been here at least 4 times, and when you're here 4 times, we sometimes see a gift and ask you to step into that gift and share in community and explore your gifts in this way. So I've asked Mike if he would read 2 paragraphs from that speech by John Trudell and Presence the Masculine, which is part of meeting us where we are. We're in the collective right now with the dominant masculine energy. So we can see this as energy, and I will just ask Mike to presence that beautiful masculine energy and read those words of John Trudell for us, please, at this time.
Okay. All right. This is 2 paragraphs from John Trudeau's speech. We are a natural part of the earth. As a natural part of the earth, we have the energy and the power that is the earth. The earth will take care of us if we will remember the earth in more than just our words, if we remember the earth in our way of life. We're all here to play a role, and all of the animals and all of the life on the earth is playing its proper role except for the human people. Somehow we are betraying our purpose here, and that is why we live in the confusion that we live in. Our power will come back to us. Our sense of balance will come back to us when we go back to the natural way of protecting and honoring the earth. If we have forgotten how to do it, or we think that it looks overwhelming, or think that we can never accomplish it, all we have to do, each one of us, an individual, is to go and find one spot on the earth that we can relate to. Feel that energy, feel that power. That's where our safety will come.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mike.
Sure. Pleasure.
Yeah, and now at this time, I want to ask Ms. Imani, if she will share with us her experience. Because when we begin these transformation dances, the first thing I do is journey to my power animals and see who will help and what guidance they will give us. And I was guided to ask Ms. Imani to join me here on our sacred mountain. And she's just over there on the east side. I'm on the southwest side. And we're holding the energy of this oldest mountain on Turtle Island. And so Imani came over and we sat in a healing circle with the stones of olivine that are known to heal the healers. And so that will take place today while we're all gathered here as well. And at this time, I met Ms. Imani probably 30 years ago, back in the late 80s, early 90s, when we both were attending workshops with Baba Olatunji here on the east side of this mountain. And I think he connected us both very deeply with the earth and with the mountain and with our own rhythms, our internal cycles and rhythms. And I have to thank Imani because at that time I was, I was taught to assimilate because it was necessary to survive. It was illegal to walk in our ways until till the Religious Freedom Act was passed in 78. So 10 years later, I was cautiously coming in to my ancestral ways that I had lived secretly in family, in community, mostly family of 12 families, where my mother was the youngest. And when I, heard that drum, it just spoke to me and spoke to my heart. And it was still a courageous step to open my heart to the love for that drum. But I saw Imani leading and stepping into these community teachings with Baba Olatunji, and I knew that I could stand with her and she would stand with me. And I'm so grateful that she's come back into my life, thanks to Kate, my sister Kate, who suggested that we should get together in this way on this sacred mountain. And now I ask Imani to share her experience of coming over on this side and joining in that drumming that we sent to Gabri to start this whole composition.
Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you, everyone in the circle. Thank you to the spirits of this place and of your home place. And thank you for inviting me to come over. And all of the many things that I have learned in the last 60 days, just 2 moon cycles so far. We have the 30 years ago, but to really be here now. And honestly, I was in the midst of Soul Fire for the Earth, which was a 30-day prayer practice that I was inspired to hold and to inspire. And I knew that if you invited me to come and participate in something, I wanted to do it. I didn't really need to know what it was, why it was, how it was, where it was, if it wasn't. I just said yes. And that's what I learned from Babatunde Olatunji, is that he said, he really took the women under his wing in a way that wasn't happening in the late 80s. People tried to kill me because I was playing drums. So it was like that. And Baba protected us, and Baba loved this area, and he brought the spirit of the drum back here on purpose, brought it to the YMI Center. And so when Gail spoke to me of this and invited me to come over across the valley over to the other side of the mountain where her home place is, I knew that it was for a reason. And so I didn't leave the mountain much during those 30 days. And I came over to listen and to add my voice as a woman of power, because I got a set of pipes and I know how to play the drum, and I've been blessed by many people and told, go do this, Imani. Don't let anybody stop you. So with your invitation has equalized a level of power and relationship with the land and with the forces that I've been dancing with for the last 7 years. And it was just like I felt very still and very present and very much of a hollow bone for that place to speak to you, to speak to this project, and to allow myself as an instrument of peace to be activated to support that. Bit like a hummingbird who came to my door today and came inside while I was getting ready for this call. So thank you so very much. If there's anything I forgot about, I want to turn it over to creation to take care of it for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Imani. I can imagine that hummingbird coming from that red dress. That's sweet. Glad that it joins us today. And Imani and I did a 15-minute shamanic style drumming, and the mountain joined us just after 7 minutes. There was an echo from the ridge line all of a sudden. And it came and it went and it came and it went. And I recognized it as the voice of the spirit of this mountain that had joined me in a Nipikaga ceremony infrequently over the last 14 years that this land has held traditional Lakota sweat lodge ceremony, and just about knocked me over even though I was sitting on the ground when that spirit came into lodge. It's very beautiful, it's very powerful, and I'm calling in people to go into that ceremony to hear the spirit of this mountain in whatever way it wants to share with us. And this is a part of what we do today. And so I sent a really rough 15-minute drumming where we entrained and just called in, Baba and Jimi Hendrix and the spirits who've done their work and wanted to join us in this way. And it was beautiful. It was just such a good feeling. And Mani stood up and she said, "Oh, I'm so altered." And it was sweet to see her, you know, standing up and recognizing that she was altered in a beautiful, natural, drumming way. And so I hope that you can all feel that in what we're sharing today. And I'm going to now ask Molly to just tell us a little bit about her experience of working with Gabri in this creative way, and anything that she wants to say at this time. She's been such a big part of all these last 4 dances and even before then.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just really grateful to be here and share this energy with you all. I'm grateful for Gabri to calling this for this song, and really to John Trudell for such an inspiration and so much wisdom, and for all that he did, and it's so strong, the energy. I would really just really like to say thank you to everyone who really joined. It's really amazing to see so many of you coming and sharing this experience with us. Thank you all. And yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. You have stood by these dances so beautifully and so creatively. And I'm very grateful to you for all that you do. And I also want to ask Pamela, who's our tech person who suffers through all of the challenges when I change all the settings on Zoom right before the meeting and not sure what's going to happen. But I want to commend Mike at this time for sharing a beautiful poem with Pamela. Because when I asked him to read the speech by John Trudell, he had already offered this beautiful poem by Mary Oliver about spring and bears. And he offered to share that, or to let someone else share that. So I'm really grateful to Mike for that, and I want to ask Pamela to share that beautiful poem with us now. And then after we dance and talk about our dance experiences, if any of you also have poems that you want to share, or quotes, or images, or anything about the power of love, you'll have an opportunity to do that right after we dance and share about our dance. So Pamela, if you will share that beautiful poem and anything else that you want to say at this time, we'll all be grateful.
So the poem is called Spring, and it's by Mary Oliver. Somewhere a black bear has just risen from sleep and is starting down the mountain. All night in the brisk and shallow restlessness of early spring, I think of her, her 4 black fists flicking the gravel, her tongue like a red fire touching the grass, the cold water. There is only one question: how to love this world. I think of her rising like a black and leafy ledge to sharpen her claws against the silence of the trees. Whatever else my life is, with the poems and the music and its glass cities, it is also this dazzling darkness coming down the mountain, breathing and tasting. All day I think of her, her white teeth, her wordlessness, her perfect love.
Ah, thank you, Pamela. And that is power. The power of the mother bear is the power of the feminine, the dark side of the feminine when she's protecting her cubs. And so I want to share a personal experience of a power animal coming to help and demonstrating to us how that power can go beyond rational linear thought, because that's how we recognize when we're helped by the spirits. It's non-linear. So over a decade ago, I was working with a CEO in my day job capacity and preparing him for a meeting that was very important, very critical. And within our conversation, all of a sudden he says, I gotta tell you something. There's a dead deer out there in my yard. And I was really taken aback by this. And I said, well, how'd it get there? And he, cursed a little bit and said, I don't know, I guess the coyotes brought it in. And I said, well, they teach us important lessons. They teach us in ways we don't expect. So you could be right, I guess. And his response was, well, don't you know people that work with things like this? Don't you know somebody who could come and get this deer out of my yard? And I was like, well, yeah, I do. I know people who work with animals, and I'll put the word out, and I'll let you know in 4 days if anybody wants up to take this deer. And 4 days passed, and I didn't hear a word from anybody. So I had to go, tell him in the course of our conversations that no one had come forth to help him with this deer that was in his yard for 4 days now. And he said, well, what am I going to do? I got to do something with this deer. And I said, well, when my black child crossed over, I walked into the forest, and a marker tree had uprooted and left the perfect grave for me to bury her in. And there was a long silence, a long, deep pause, and he said, there is a grave in the woods behind my house. And I was pretty surprised. I said, what do you mean, a grave? And he said, well, I came in one day from work, and I couldn't find my son anywhere, so I walked into the forest, and I found that he had dug a grave 6 feet long, 6 feet deep. And I came back into the house, and I found him out on the roof in a very serious state. He was just finishing high school with Asperger's at that time, and he was having a hard time. And so the CEO was able to talk him back into the house, and he shared that he had had a pretty challenging time with his son since then. And it just came to me like a lightning bolt. Lightning is our strongest medicine. And it came to me, that deer has come into your yard to take your son's place in the grave that he dug for himself. And this powerful man heard it in exactly that way and just sobbed, just felt it hit his heart and sobbed. And I asked him to take his son to that grave in the forest, take some sage, take some cedar, take some tobacco offerings, and together with his wife, if she chose to join, bury that deer in the grave that his son had dug for himself. And this is the way the power animals come to us. This is the way they help us. There's nothing rational, linear, logical to explain that help except to share our experiences like this. And so I'm grateful that you all can join today and share this experience with me and share your power animals by bringing them in here with us and share this dance that we hope to take to the collective and do whatever we can, but to really watch for those non-linear ways that we receive help. And so we're going to go into our dance now. And I'm going to go over the hand movements that we're also guided through in the dance, and Molly's going to help me. She's going to show you the movements. A lot of them are standing movements now, so we really have to stand up and share these movements that take us into ritual. And ritual is a human longing, an instinctual human need to connect in this way. And when we all do the same thing, we are all one. And that is some of the beauty of the rituals. Our true ritual ceremonies include a transformation. And this dance is our embodiment of the transformation. And so it begins with our open arms. We're actually, going to start this dance with our open arms. And you can see Pamela's pinned me in, Molly. So we're going to start with our arms open like this. And we're going to step up into these ways. The way Mike stepped up today and showed us. Then the way Molly stepped up. And the way Imani stepped up and Pamela. And all of us stepped up just to be here in these ways. So we open our arms and we step up slowly with the music. And then the music's going to guide us to start feeling the balance of the scales. We feel that with our hands. We gently start to balance. And I'm going to step back just a little bit so you can see more of the guidance here. So we're feeling the balance, and then the words in the music guide us. We step up with our heart. This is the Salagyue, where we step up with our heart. And then we push that power from our second chakra, from our power chakra down to connect with the earth. And then we're guided to also push out to the sides so that we connect with everyone around us. So inner, outer, as we step up with our heart. And dance your way. Dance the way you dance. And join in the hand movements and join in whatever way you're comfortable joining in. And just follow the guidance, and you can look at me and Molly and whoever Pamela spots and spotlights to join us. If you get lost, just come back and join us. So inner, outer. We push our power down to the earth. And then we start, as we're connected with the earth, we start to dust off the past. Again, at our power chakra and our root chakra that we just connected with the earth, we just dust off in the native way. Dust that energy back into the past. You can dust the front and the back. You can dust this way, You can just dust with your hands and step up into this power that we've taken on today, this deeper understanding of power. And so then we start to move from our heart. After we've dusted off the past, we push energy out from our heart. And you can feel that. And we're still stepping up with our heart and pushing our energy out to the world. And then we reach up to our shoulders and we acknowledge the weight of the world. And we begin to dance, to shift our stepping up back to our heels so that we can really connect with Mother Earth and summon her to join us in this challenge. So we're nudging the weight of the world from our shoulders at this point. And then we dance, we dance each of these ways for a minute or two. And then we put our hands together, palms facing, and we feel the energy awaken within us. We feel that as we pound on the earth with our heels. We start to spiral from over our heads, our highest chakras. We just spiral our palms and our hands down to our root chakra and over our head and back down. And when we do this, we open portals for peace. And so you'll have just a minute or two with each of these movements to really feel into them and really call them in to be with us in these ways. And of course you want to remain aware of your present boundaries and be safe in your space. At the same time you're allowing these energies to move through you and feeling them come into this plane, come into presence with us today. So are there any questions before we begin our dance? Okay, no questions? Pamela's going to mute everybody and she's going to play the music for us. And then after the dance, we're going to share our experience, whatever we experienced during the dance. And also, we're going to share that afterwards. And then we'll share our poems and quotes on the power of love. Thank you all for dancing this way. Step up to balance power. Humility is the teaching of the Black race on this action from the heart. We are grateful to these ancestral people, the direction of the West and the element of water. Our hands hold the balancing scales of justice as we step up in this way of dancing to also balance Earth. Honor the Earth and feel the real power when we sit quietly with her as our mother. We take our hands with these balancing scales to our own power center of our second chakra. We push energy down to the earth to ground ourselves and out to our sides to help us all balance power, inner and outer, inner and outer. Power must align within each of us. Dance this way for at least a full minute. off the past abuses by swirling energy around the second chakra and call out abusive actions. Resist the simplest delusional urge to overpower another. Dark feminine seduction or marauding mama bear gives way to nurturing a woman's body as a bridge between two worlds, connecting through heart-based wisdom. Feminine energy of creative, expansive, intuitive, immense eminence, birthing old ways for new times. With evasive and abusive outer power of masculinity and hierarchy, meeting resistance, swaddled by mountains. Choosing hidden power as wisdom with vulnerabilities. Mysterious wind in your hair. Resting like Tonga volcanoes beneath the ocean of the collective unconscious. Dance this way for at least a full minute. spiral, palms facing above our head and back down to our own roots. Centered and sovereign within community, opening portals for peace. Dance this way for at least another minute, please. Oh, thank you all. It's so beautiful to see everyone dancing and to feel everyone dancing together. And that's what this is about, together in community. Sovereign. I want you to notice your eyes at this point, how much energy comes into your face and into your eyes and into your body when you dance like this. Oh, it just feels so good to be here with all of you, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here in this way. And if anyone would like to share their experiences during this dance, please just open your mic and share. Please. Take a moment if you need to, get a drink or whatever, take a breath, take a moment. Whatever you need to, but please share anything you feel like you want to share.
It's Eileen in the Pacific Northwest again. During the dance, all the birds stopped singing as if they were all listening. Not one was singing. And far away, I could hear a dove. Down below, we have levels. And then when we were finished and you said thank you, and they all started singing again. It was amazing. They were listening.
Yes, yes. It is amazing, Eileen. It is. It is so beautiful, the things that just magically come in with us. Thank you.
This is Shalania, and today is the first day I've danced on my feet for, oh my gosh, it's been maybe a year or year and a half, maybe 2 years. And so I just am celebrating because I felt my feet getting better and better and better. And so today I said, I'm just going to dance on my feet. And I danced on my feet, and I feel wonderful and alive and very grateful. Dancing in community again. Thank you so much.
Happy to hear that. Yeah, that's sweet. Good for you.
Stephanie, you're muted.
Thank you. Excuse me. I have a phone, so I'm holding the phone. The first part of the dance, I had a really full experience of our Mother Earth joy and welcoming our dance of balancing power. It's like the mother was just so grateful that her children have that knowingness, that understanding. I'm complete. Thank you.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Martin. All help is appreciated.
I would say that that may have been one of the more palpable experiences of walking with Baba since he passed. Yeah, there were. So I'm understanding more and more about this land, and I'm understanding more and more about what is being asked, and yeah, there was a lot of watchers, I would say, is a good way to put it, and I have had this experience before where people who have been mentors or visions, that they're often like 30 feet tall, and yeah, Baba and my cat Yoda came in, and Baba was like 30 feet tall and Yoda was taller than me. So thank you. And Yoda's buried over here on the land. She passed in the fire.
Oh, that's sweet, Imani. Thank you so much. Sharing from your heart. And from your land.
I would like to share. I had a really strong feeling of connection with the Mother Earth and opening the portals. I just really felt the portals were opening, the portals for peace were opening through our humanity. So that was what it really resonated with me, and I'm so happy to be here and share this circle with you. Thank you all. I'm so happy to Shalalia dancing as well, so heartwarming. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all so beautiful. Thank you, Molly. And I will say that Molly has danced this dance many times in preparation. So the more you dance, the deeper we reach. I want to encourage all of you to just keep dancing this way. Keep dancing this dance, and it will just deepen like it just did for Molly. She's a beautiful example.
I'll share the synchronicity for me was my favorite part. When I would be in my own element, kind of dancing around and changing positions and motions, and look up, and I was in sync with a number of different people at a number of different times. That was mine. And then I just have to say, Tessa, tell me again where you are. I thought for a while that was a screen, but it looks amazing there.
So I'll pick up the talk together then. I'm on the coast of Mombasa, which is on the coral coast of Bitileb on the Fiji Islands. And during the dance, you know, the tide just turned, and the water was always calling me. So I wanted to step into the water, but it was a little deep. And then when we got to sharing our power from the heart space, I think it was right there that the tide actually turned, and I was able to step in and dance with the water without getting my pants wet. And holding the weight of the world, I felt that very deeply, but being able to move my feet. I was getting tired. I was getting tired in this, and it's often this way in my life. And with the work that I choose to do, and then the realization that I can always move my feet. Not only did I feel held and grounded, but I felt lighter somehow. I felt I can always move my feet, and that's such a great truth. And I think that sort of hones home when we realize that we walk upon the earth. We are the ones that have the free will, and how is it that we use it is how we will direct our power. And so I'm very grateful for Gabri for feeling this call. It's such an important one now, because it is now that we need to connect to that power that is us, that is part of us, and direct it in ways that we are called to do. And the calling is different for different people. So very grateful to be here collaborating among you, and so grateful for the team that pulled this together over and over again for community. Naka. And I think Claudia is wanting to share but was unable to unmute. I pass the word.
Yeah, thank you both, Martin and Tessa. That's beautiful. And it is the most beautiful beach there in Fiji, Martin. You are so right. And Tessa's been a part of this team too. So we are grateful for all participation. And this is what happens when we come into community. We step into magic. Yeah, Claudia. Yeah, I'd love to hear about your real cacao ceremony when you danced in circle a few weeks ago in Palenque. If you have a chance to share, and anybody else who wants to share their experiences, please just step forward.
Well, Kate, Eileen, how yours got quiet, mine seemed to pick up. It seemed like all the animals around here were making a little noise, and feeling it, the deepness, the gratitude for Mother. I felt that too. It's almost like, and for me, I'm thinking, you know, we haven't been able to find the right words to motivate people together, that somehow this transcends the spoken word and is able to communicate in a different way. Anyway, I loved it. I felt the very similar. I used to tone with the European grandmothers once in a while. We'd get together and tone from different corners of the earth, and it felt really powerful. It was a very similar feeling here today. So thank you.
Thank you, Kate. That's beautiful. The birds here join in too. You'll hear in that recording the birds that joined Imani and I when we were drumming. Those are the real birds. Yeah, sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they're joining in. Anyone else is welcome to unmute and tell us anything you want to share.
I'll share with you. Hi, my name is Benita. I'm in the Midwest of California, Lodi. I just want to say that I'm in gratitude for everyone that is here, and that it's beautiful because when we do things like this, we all bring in our own energies, and everybody feels and knows that they're on a different path or mission, but at one time we all gather as one. And when we gather as one, as we open the portals, everyone is opening their portals to their hearts and releasing all that love. And that's an amazing thing. And I am thankful to all of you. And when I was dancing, I brought in the deer medicine and the bear medicine. I am Little Bear, and the deer face that I wore is part of that medicine. I'm also wearing some natural jewelry that came from Silver City. The women there make jewelry out of wood and sticks. So I brought Mother Earth into my heart, and I could truly feel the energies of all the healing of everyone that was given. And I thank you.
Oh, yes, Benita. Thank you too. Thank you so much for bringing that in. Yeah, I'm also Deer Clan, so I'm so glad that you brought that energy. Thank you, sister.
Got a quote I'll share. Bob Dylan said once, "To live outside the law, you must be honest." And I think that's a good way to think about power, how to respond to power. Just to ignore power, ignore the patriarchy. Just live your life. Don't worry about the laws. If you live an honest life and you believe in the power of love and you live through that power, then you don't have to even acknowledge the systems and the all the powers that try to hold sway over us. And then, of course, there's the Martin Luther King quote: "Returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that."
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, let's move into our quotes if we want to share about your dance or your quote about the power of love, whatever's comfortable right now. Let's just share.
Yeah. It's in Dancing Moons by Nancy Wood. And it says, "June is the corn tassel coming out moon, Kapnanya Koya Pana." And it says, June's great path of the moon is listening. There's a story inside everything: wind, rain, fire, even in the sound the corn makes when it's trying to grow in the field. Rivers have great stories, so do leaves rustling on trees. Listen to old stones for information about survival. Put a pebble to your ear. Listen to the tale it has to tell. What a seashell has to say will surprise you. So too will words written on the wind. Listening to silence is hardest of all. You want to fill it up with conversation, with noise, with distraction. Resist the impulse. In silence, you can listen to your own heartbeat. You can take the pulse of continuity. In silence, you can dream great dreams. You can discover your own music. Why is it harder to let go than it is to hang on? Even when a thing seems finished, a shadow remains. You ask, did I do right? Was there a way to bury our differences by saying nothing? Did you say all? It takes effort to make something of your life when other people are making do with less. Have courage to make a change. Indecision prevents action. Memory clouds reason. Fear paralyzes. Routine decays. Listening means hearing the voice within you. It never fails to tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it. Aho, I am complete.
Mm. Beautiful, Eileen. Thank you for sharing that.
I'd like to share something. It's about where we are at, or at least where I'm at, and we're in Mercury in retrograde will be coming out in another couple of days, and we're doing this balance of a power thing at such a crucial time, I believe. And so Mercury is the planet of communication. And I'd just like to be able to bring that energy in, because in another couple of days we'll be going out. Mercury will be going direct. And also I'm a student of esoteric astrology, and we're in Gemini, and the keynote for that is I, the soul, recognize my other self, lower self. And in that waning of that self, I grow and glow. So that as we move out, our light is growing, and this balance of power will be coming up and then out into our weeks ahead. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. That's very helpful right now. It's good that we're very timely with this.
Okay, I think I'm gonna come in with quote. And it's by Mary Paleologos. And it's about the power of love. Power of love is the strongest force in the universe. Power of love has the ability to transform moment into something magical. It's similar to alchemy, capable of transforming something basic into gold. That's a quote of Power of Love. And also, I'm just going to add to this the Jimi Hendrix quote as well. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. So here's to Jimi Hendrix quote, sharing. Thank you, Gail, and thank you all so much.
Yeah, and thank you, Molly. I love both those quotes. I think Miss Imani had a quote from Yoko Ono. Lennon. Did you want to share that one, Imani? Anybody else have a quote they want to share?
I have a little piece to read from a Jamie Sands book, Earth of Medicine, and it's from the 10th moon, Weaving the Dream. Where is the mystery of silver webs we weave? Does life become the mirror of dreams we can't deceive? And where within us do we carry deep buried fears and pain, remembering to let it go so we can love again? Is it somewhere in our essence we hold the desire to spin every creative thread that takes us back home to the heart again? Awakening weavers of the world, we're crying for the dream. The web of life has room for all. within its wheel and scheme. So weave the web of sharing of all we have ever known. Our dream emerges with caring through the seeds of love we've sown.
Sweet, Stephanie. Thank you. Seeds of love. Yeah, seeds have been coming up. Very beautiful.
Yoko Ono says, love is our energy. Wisdom is our power. It's time to shed light to all corners of the world. Enjoy the trip we make together. I was inspired to pull up this poem that I caught about a year ago. And it says, unlock yourself and pass it on. Art is a culture doctor. Become a tsunami to have some serious fun. Smuggle some wisdom into the world and sing the tunes and tones of the day. Bring the old traditions awake and alive in new respectful ways. Art is for the collective healing, shifting into the real world identity of now and now and now and now. There is so much bubbling up from this power over paradigm. May the music we play weave a magic carpet for the medicine to be delivered to the people. May the power from within express itself through poetry and the pulse of the heart, through the words of our minds that make it to our mouth, this rhythm of the body that ripples and informs and resonates life. A sustaining system, cycling of time, forward in time, backward in time, weaving unlikely things together. When we don't know what to do, we call in what does. Ashe.
Ashe, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, any more to share? A good bit over our time goal, but you know, that's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. So if anyone has anything more they want to share, we want to listen. And if not, I'm going to close us with a song and a quote from Viktor Frankl to remind us, between stimulus and response, there is space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So may we remember our gathering here when we face those choices and call upon each other and the power of community. So the song I'm going to sing came to me a couple of days, well actually 24 hours after we initiated a pipe in the winter solstice 2018 on this mountain, a pipe that I'd carried around for over 25 years unfired because it came through beautiful painted arrow Joseph Rael, who is the beautiful man who started the peace chambers that you see behind Imani there. And yeah, that beautiful red thing is so pretty. It's the 18th peace chamber, and you can read more about it on her her site, soulfiresanctuary.com. And I feel like that pipe is also part of connecting. A lot of different energies have come in since this pipe was initiated, and especially the energy of the man who made the pipe, Great Antelope. We honor him for making that pipe and giving it to our Sundance support, who prefers to remain anonymous but has been here on this land with me in ceremony for almost 30 years now, and has Sundance 32 or 3 times, I lose count, but carries this energy with us wherever we go, and invokes with us the sacred pipe that came to us and connects to that peace chamber. They're the same man that started so much of this. So join me in this song, and before I close the sacred container, I wonder if, Pamela, you want to read what Claudia posted in the chat? Can you just read her words so that we bring her into the sacredness, even though the mute's not working right for her?
So here's what Claudia wrote. Very grateful, on a pilgrimage for unification, and it was a pleasure and a blessing to dance with you all. I'm outside among the most beautiful mountains, the vegetation and birds singing everywhere.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Claudia. Like, the birds have been a big part of this one, so I'm grateful for that. I have 3 little baby birds right outside the window, little blue-headed orioles, and their mama has shown me everything about building that nest and feeding those little babies. They've only hatched 2 or 3 days ago, so I got all kinds of pictures. If you want to see them, I'm gonna put them on Facebook so you can see little baby birds and mama. And I'm so blessed with, and our gathering today seems so blessed by the birds and each of you. I'm grateful to each of you and all of you for being here in this way. So I'm going to sing us out, and then we're going to keep our women's circle going for a little while. If anybody wants to stay, or you're welcome, to go. I'm sorry we're keeping you much later than anticipated, but I'm grateful that we had this beautiful sharing going on at the same time. So anything else anybody wants to share before I close our sacred circle with this pipe song that came?
Yes, I would love to share. I was looking for a poem, and I think I found it. And I realized I had my camera off when we were dancing earlier, but I kept thinking, I should go now again. Isla was in need of water, so I lost it again. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Right? We'll find it. I'll tell you what it is. It's a poem that it was written for us as Xoklin, Laclano, and Kaingangi communities, and it's very beautiful. And okay, here it is. While we were dancing. So bear with me. I'm going to try and do some translation, but I gotta translate from my native language to Portuguese and then to English. I still don't get the native to English translation. It's happening slowly, but okay. If here, Isla, come here, read this. If Xoklin indigenous person stays here within this white crime, we can feel clean and cleansed after washing our hands. If the earth of a Xoklin indigenous will feed your food and will give food to your voice of obedience or death. If an indigenous of our earth will sleep on the earth, and the earth that you took from below our feet, on the eye of your guns, from deep inside your beautiful blue eyes. Think about it. If an indigenous that ripens with the fruits and the seeds and the conchas, conchas, conchas. ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say? Shells, shells. So that ripens with the seeds and the fruit shells of our necklaces of celebration. We thank you for your strength, for your guidance into hunting. Because as we see, we can shut the mouth of vanity and remember the anger, the ambition, and the cruelty that can be disguised. Because for us, all there is love. And we teach your children, we teach our children all of this truth and all of the truth that has been hidden within all of your history books. And so it touches my heart because when we dance and we have, I come from two separate lineages, and our cosmovision is very similar, but our dances are different, and we dance for different purposes. And also the family that has taken me in, because it is my daughter's family, we also have another tradition on the dance. And so it's my heart deeply, and I remember this poem because this poem was read to me by one of my professors, and he said that it was written in conjunction in a partnership of his partnership with an anthropologist, and this anthropologist who came to study in the reservation. And one of the things he noticed was how beautiful the dance was and how much power the dance had. And he said that if one day we could show the whole world our dances and our culture, that would be one of the most powerful ways to tell the truthful story that the history books don't tell. And so this poem also reminded me of that, and everything is connected. So we're both very happy to, and I can see and I can tell that Ayla Vaikomen was also very grateful to be here. So thank you so much, Gail. Thank you so much for everybody who is in this circle, and I look forward to continuing to dance with you. It's very humbling.
Yes, that's sweet. Thank you, Mila. I love hearing that ancient wisdom. It is so beautiful. For all that's coming to us today. And I will sing the song to send our voice to ancestors with the common people's pipe. With compassion of grandmothers, we want to live. Drum of sacred elk nation, pipe of black-tailed deer, on this good day, sending our voice, the common people's pipe, and it came in Lakota ceremony language. So sing humdrum with me, whatever you want to do. Unmute, join the frequency, however you can. Holy Tungashila, Holy Tungashila, Tungashila. Shalae, Wichashal, Tachanibae, Unchi Malaye, Unchi Malaye, Unchi Malaye, Don't be telo, hey, Sanjegan, Eakan, Oyate, Chanupa. Souffle, oe, ampachikile, uchashal tachanipa, hey, oe, tungashala, oe, tungashala, oe, tungashala, uchashal tachanipa, hey, unchi male, unchi Malaye, unchi, malaye, don't be telo, hey, Jinjigal, hey, hagal, oyate, chanupa, sinta soble, oe, yampachigile, wichasha, tachanipa, hey. So much love and gratitude to all of you, and please, please join on the first day of each month. Continue dancing in beautiful ritual community ways. Thank you all.